Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Shanae and today I'm going to show you how I meal prep for the week. My idea of meal prepping is a little different though. Instead of preparing one big batch of meal and dividing into containers, I prepare individual ingredients so that they're ready for me to put together into quick and easy dinners on the busy nights. That way we'll enjoy fresh new meals every night and still save time on chopping and preparing vegetables. It's more practical, efficient way for my family, and I hope it will help you too. So before I get started with prepping ingredients, I come up with my weekly menu first. So this week I'm going to have rice and vegetables with a roast chicken breast. On Monday, baked salmon with zucchini and asparagus, instant pot mushroom risotto with leftover chicken breast if I have some, and the fridge clean out stir fry. We're going to make stir fry sauce today, and Philly cheesesteaks on Friday night. Today is Sunday and I have a roast chicken in the oven, but if you don't want to roast your own chicken, you can also buy rotisserie chicken too. So here's my tip. Every week I focus on three main areas: protein, starches, and vegetables. And I also focus on the longest cooking items on the meal prep day. For example, protein-wise, I'm focusing on roast chicken today, but some weeks it can be pot roast or pulled pork that I can enjoy on Sunday and use it leftovers on the weekdays. And as far as the vegetables, roast vegetables take about 30 to 40 minutes. So I prepare them on my meal prep day so that I don't spend that much time on a weeknight. And as far as starches goes, baked potatoes, brown rice, barley take longest time to cook, so I batch prepare them on the weekend. White rice takes quick and easy to cook, so I don't worry about those. Seafood, for example, salmon or shrimp, they don't take a long time to cook, so I don't worry about those things, but having them on the menu reminds me to take them out of the freezer and thaw it in the fridge overnight. So let's get started with the prep work. I already have roast chicken in the oven, and let's set up the brown rice in my Instant Pot, and then we'll move on to mushrooms. Rice, I rinsed it already, and I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Shake it a little bit. Salt, and I like to add a little bit olive oil. Set the Instant Pot for 5 minutes, and then we'll let the pressure release naturally for 15 minutes. So I like to slice my mushrooms. You can slice the mushrooms or you can quarter them. These are smaller mushrooms, so I'm going just to quarter them. And I have a recipe for my mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, on my website, so check it out. I will put the link in the description box below. I also shared my roast chicken video on my channel, so I will link it down below as well. And the last one. So now we're going to go back to the stove and we're going to saute. I'm going to take you with me. So this morning we had bacon, and I haven't washed my pan because I like to use leftover bacon fat. I have too much bacon fat, so I am going to pour it over in this mason jar, and I love to keep some on hand because it's free flavor, and we'll use this pan to saute our mushrooms. A few important things to keep in mind. When you're sauteing mushrooms, we want to have a very, very high heat in order to have a nice golden crust and sear on the mushrooms. Otherwise, they will get slimy and not very appetizing. And that's the secret number one. Make sure your pan is nicely hot before you add your mushrooms. Second tip, you don't want to salt your mushrooms when you're in the pan right away, because salt draws out too much moisture, and we have a lot of mushrooms here, and it can steam your mushrooms instead of searing it. But if you're cooking just a little bit mushrooms, salting right away actually will help you because it'll draw out the moisture, and the moisture will quickly evaporate. But in our case, when we are sauteing a lot of mushrooms, it will steam, and moisture is not going to evaporate as quickly because the mushrooms are overcrowding the pan. And in that case, we'll just hit the pan really well, and then we'll add the mushrooms. We do not want to touch the pan. Stirring won't help at all. And like I said, I have this bacon bits stick on the pot, and they will loosen up from the moisture from the mushrooms. So the pan is really nice and hot, and I'm going to add the mushrooms now. You want to hear the sizzle. Spread it evenly, and we don't want to touch it for a little while until they shrink in size, and then we'll give it a quick toss. My chicken is ready, and mushrooms are nicely shrunk down, and I'm going to mix it up. Do you see how golden these are? Nice sear. And this is exactly what you want to have. And because we are cooking it in the bacon grease, we don't actually need to salt it at all. And as you can see, this brown bits are loosening up nicely, and we'll continue to cook. So while mushrooms are cooking, we're going to move on to carrots. I already washed and peeled my carrots, and I prepare my carrots a few different ways. Small dices for soups, and then sticks for snacking, and for roasting a little bigger chunks. And I'll walk you through how I do them. Remove all the ends first. So for sticks, I like to use the thicker part, and then I basically cut into smaller sizes. So I cut one side, flip it over so that it doesn't get wobbly, and then into thin sticks. This is great for snacking. My kids love snacking on raw carrots, and I like to dip mine in hummus. And here's how I store them. I use a pickle jar, and I place all the sticks in my, like so, and then I fill it with cold water. Caveat for this, you want to change your water every other day just to dump the old water and pour in new water, and it will keep for up to 5 days, and even 7 days will work. That's what I do for snacking. And now for roasting, I like to cut it in a little bit fun way, diagonally, like so. Not only do they look beautiful, it's also cooks faster because it's thinner chunks like this. And then the end pieces of my carrots, I like to cut them, save it for the soups. So all of my carrots are chopped, and I'm going to transfer into containers. Never ever drag your knife against your cutting board because it will dull your knife. Instead, use a bench scraper like that. And then you also want to cover it in water so they don't dry out in the fridge. And these chopped carrots are great for soups and stir fries. And I'm going to roast these carrots with my broccoli and cauliflower. Up next, we're gonna chop the celery. The same thing with celery as carrots. We're gonna cut some strips and then dice them for soups. I usually use the top portion of the celery for snacking and this part for soups. So we store the similar way as carrots in a tall jar. It's really easy to snack on them. You don't have to fill the chopped celery with water. And celery also freezes really well, so sometimes I freeze chopped celery as well for soups, or when I'm making stocks, they come really handy. Again, this celery is great for up to a week. So my mushroom is ready. Look how little mushroom we have now. Nothing is burnt. It's nice and golden color, and I'm going to put it in my container. It's funny how lots of mushroom become this little, but so flavorful. I keep the flavors to minimum because I can use it in different dishes. Okay, now we're gonna do zucchini. I'm not going to cook the zucchini, I'm just gonna chop it up, and I'm going to use it for baked salmon and zucchini asparagus sheet pan meal. It's really easy. I'm just gonna cut them into small triangles like so. This meal prepping doesn't take a lot of time, just an hour or two on a weekday. And sometimes because I have kids, I don't necessarily have to devote an hour straight. I sometimes do a little bit here and there, you know. You don't have to do everything at once. So sometimes I do saute the mushrooms while I'm doing dishes, and sometimes after dishes maybe I'll do like 1 to 2 vegetables. It doesn't have to be done all at once. It's all about saving time and batch working so that everything is prepped for you when you're ready to cook. So my zucchini is ready, and I'm going to move on to asparagus. Zucchini and asparagus cook really fast. That's why I'm not cooking them, but I'm going to bake them with my salmon. Since the vegetables are already ready, it won't take me a long time. So when you do asparagus, there's a tip. You can hold the asparagus like this and let it snap on their own, and this is the part you want to eat, and this is the woody part. But I feel like I'm wasting a good asparagus here, so I just go ahead and cut the whitish part and cut and we don't need this. Now you can roast it like this, or I just gonna go ahead and cut it into smaller pieces because it's easier to eat that way. And I will add it into my zucchini bowl because I'm gonna cook it all together. And last part, we're gonna chop up some broccoli and cauliflower, and I'm going to roast them today with my carrots. I love roasted broccoli and cauliflower, super flavorful. I don't usually cut it into too small pieces, otherwise they will get tiny or burnt. This part, you don't have to throw it out. Sometimes I save it and use this, throw it into chicken stock when I'm making. So like roast chicken that I have, after we eat it, we don't throw out the carcass, by the way. I use it. I combine 2 carcasses and cook it in an Instant Pot to make really good chicken stock. And I usually throw in the scrapes too. Nothing goes to waste in this household. Now we're going to roast the vegetables. My pan is a little overcrowded than I would like, but it will be all right. What we'll do is drizzle some olive oil all over and salt. And garlic powder. I love this stuff. And some black pepper too. Mix everything together And I'm preheating my oven to 375 degrees. It was already hot from the chicken. And I'm going to roast it about 35 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it and until the carrots are nice and soft, and I like a little bit char on my broccoli, and I'll show you how it's done in a little bit. Halfway through, stir the vegetables a little bit to make sure they're cooking evenly. Okay, my roast vegetables are ready. So now I'm going to show you how to store herbs, fresh herbs. I have cilantro here and I sorted through them, picked out the good ones, and what I do is I line them up, the leaves in a bunch, and then I cut off all the ends to even it out and also give a fresh cut. And then I put it in the water like so, and then we'll cover it with a plastic bag or plastic wrap and put it in the fridge. This way they stay fresh longer. I like to peel my own garlic versus buying store-bought peeled garlic, because once garlic is peeled, they lose their potency really quick. So we don't know how long the garlic has been peeled at the store, and you won't get as strong garlic flavor with those store-bought ones. And I basically just peel them and store in a small mason jar or whatnot. This is actually yogurt jar. And then I just peel enough garlic to use up throughout the week. You can also place the garlic cloves with the peels on and then shake it in a jar. It works, but I find it just as labor intensive as peeling it. So now I'm going to make my Chinese all-purpose stir-fry sauce, and for that we'll need to grate 2 garlic cloves. This is super handy grater, really easy to work with. And then grate some fresh ginger. Add 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now mix everything together. Shake it. Just make sure to hold it really tight. 1/2 cup of water. And done. This is really quick and easy, delicious stir-fry sauce. You can use it as a marinade for your chicken. I have a written recipe on my website, so check it out. All right, I spent about 2 hours in my kitchen prepping all this food for the week, and I'm gonna walk you through. I have a chicken breast, brown rice, chopped up zucchini and asparagus, sauteed mushrooms, diced celery, diced carrots, fresh herbs, cilantro, peeled some garlic, made the Chinese stir-fry sauce, celery sticks, carrot sticks for snacking, and roasted vegetables. Here's what I'm gonna use. Tomorrow I'm going to cook chicken and veggie rice bowl. So basically I'll use this baked chicken with brown rice and vegetables, and we'll dress it up with sriracha or whatever we would want. And that's our Monday meal. On Tuesday, we're going to have baked salmon with zucchini and asparagus. All I need to do is defrost salmon, put it on the sheet pan and throw in my chopped up zucchini and asparagus and pop it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes, and dinner will be ready with minimum hands-on time. On Wednesday, we're going to have mushroom risotto. Again, because my mushrooms are already cooked, all I need to do is toss in the rice, toasted rice in the Instant Pot, throw in mushroom, and Instant Pot is gonna do the rest of the work. Also, diced cilantro and diced carrots are going to be added for stir fries or soups at the end of the week. Maybe on Saturday I'm gonna make chicken noodle soup or whatnot, because I have a carcass from my roast chicken today, so I'm gonna make chicken stock. On Thursday, I'm going to make stir fry, like fridge clean out stir fry, and I'm going to use my stir fry sauce and whatever I have left over in my fridge, I'm going to use that. And on Friday, I'm going to make Philly cheesesteaks sandwiches. For that, I don't need to prepare anything. I already have the beef sliced and everything, and I just need to cook the beef and put it in a bun, and that will be easy. Like, it's like Friday, pizza night or sandwich night, you know? So that's what my weekly meal prep, and on busy weeknights, it's going to take me like less than 15 minutes to actually put together my meals. Hope this is helpful for you guys, and if you have any questions or suggestions, or if you have any tips to share with me, please leave it down below. Thank you so much. Bye.